Hello friend, how is it going? Welcome back to Toyota Maintenance YouTube channel. You already saw this 2005 Toyota 4Runner, which is a very unfortunate story. One of my customers bought it as a secondary or third Toyota, and she thought she got a good deal on it, but she got scammed, and today is the day when we have final decision. Today is the day when I did work on it second time, and it's confirmed that 2005 Toyota 4Runner, it's a limited, fully loaded, 190,000 miles on the odometer, slightly lifted. It has a beautiful stance, it looks gorgeous, but it needs new engine. We have 4.7 liter 2UZ-FE V8, which are, in general, bulletproof engines. Many of them go over 500,000 miles without having any extensive repairs, let's say head gaskets or something like that. This is still timing belt engine, so yes, you do those at 80,000 miles. But this one is exception to the rule. 190,000 miles on the odometer, and somebody knew it has a blown head gasket, and they kind of patched it up, didn't really try, and they sold it cheap way they sold it, and they were lucky, these people, the scammers, that they found the victim, and the victim now owns this, and I confirmed today, it's blowing combustion gases in the coolant system. And it's finished. This engine needs either complete rebuild or it should be replaced with the used unit. So despite the fact generally you may think you cannot go bad with 2UZ-FE 4.7 liter V8, well, there are exceptions to the rule. Now, what is happening? I still don't know how I will call this video. Probably 2UZ-FE blown head gasket. Maybe I will figure out something smarter. We will see. But we will not call it importance of pre-purchase inspection. So I had today look on this engine in detail. I knew there was a very bad Autolite spark plug. And because I did inspection on it after the purchase, and I took one of the cylinders as a sample, and I found out it was Autolite. And you know the Autolite doesn't belong in this. What belongs there is SK20R11 Iridium expensive Denso spark plugs. But look what I discovered today. This was passenger side, 2, 4, 6, 8 cylinders. So we had 7 Autolites, but somebody left some NGK spark plug in the number 4 cylinder. If you look at it, look at this like plastic gasket. The amount of jungle repairs, shade tree mechanic on or homebrew, the amount of this is absolutely incredible. So the vehicle will occasionally overheat. So I looked in all cylinders, I put all the spark plugs. We agreed we need to put these Densos in it because incorrect spark plugs could cause engine run hot a little bit. I removed this aftermarket thermostat also because we don't know how old it is and so on, and replace it with alternative temperature which is lower. Toyota normally puts 82 degrees Fahrenheit, and I believe the one I put, and there is an option, is 70 Fahrenheit. So I replace the spark keys, spark plugs are all densos. I replace the thermostat with the gasket. I bled the system, the coolant system. There is incorrect coolant from beginning, and I adjusted the level on the expansion tank because this came with too much coolant in expansion tank. When the owner came, this upper radiator hose was and still is right now, after my test drive, it's hard like a rock. If you think you can squeeze it, you cannot. Now, this is what you will see if somebody tries to dump this vehicle on you. They didn't have to erase the codes. There is no problem with drivability. There is not typical head gasket signs. There will be water, there will be coolant in the cylinders. There will be misfires. The coolant will be missing. It could be leaving through the exhaust pipe. It could be blowing past the head gasket and dripping on the sides of engine. This is not this case. When I had these spark keys out today, I used the camera. I looked in every single cylinder. They are all exactly the same top of the pistons. The cylinder walls are not scored. There's no problem with that. It was all identical. Even the spark plugs, as you saw the tips, they are absolutely identical. So we have the case when we have combustion gases blowing in the cooling system. We have no codes, no problems. On my extensive test drive, after I did replace this minimum to just confirm and absolutely clearly tell the owners that this engine needs to be replaced because rebuilding will be probably way more costly than searching very good condition 2UZ-FE and just pulling it and putting it back, the new one, new used. These are the symptoms. You have perfect drivability, perfect power, no check engine. You have the temperature gauge is perfectly holding. The temperature gauge actually, because I installed that thermostat which is right here, which has a lower rating, the gauge is perfectly, even on the long test drive, it's staying in the lower half. So normally over there, that temperature gauge will be right in middle. This perfectly confirmed that my engine coolant temperature sensor works perfectly. The sensor is here. This is the ECT, it's right here. I was also watching live data and I did a couple of tests on it to make sure it perfectly works. But that's all working perfectly. On my test drive, the gauge was slightly lower. It was not right in the middle, but it was slightly lower and perfectly holding. You will think everything is fixed and you have perfect vehicle to purchase. But be very careful when you're buying a car like this and check for this. This is very hot, but it's hard like rock. And now what is this doing? Here is the lower hose, it's down there, and that's the upper. The combustion, it's blowing in the cooling system in these water jackets which are cooling the engine, and as it blows in it, it starts creating this crazy pressure in this system. It runs still correctly, the temperature, it's normal and it's correct, there's no problem with that. But through this radiator cap, which you never can open hot, as it says right here, it has a spring in it. And as we have enormous pressure in the system. The spring keeps popping and slowly sending that pressure and that coolant in the expansion tank. So that's why this vehicle came today with a high level of coolant, because some friend tried to replace the hoses. These hoses were replaced like a week ago. I don't know why, what they were thinking, but I don't care. Doesn't matter. So this came also full like that. So today, when I finished everything, I bled the air, confirmed the heat in the cabin. I made sure it's right here. And only on those, let's say 10 miles, I think I drove it on different conditions, fast, slow, and so on. It was like 20 minutes test drive, 10 miles maybe on the back roads. This immediately started filling up, and that confirms everything. It's right here. It's done. This engine is blowing. It doesn't have the other normal symptoms. It doesn't leak the coolant overnight in one of the cylinders, therefore will create on startup misfire, and it will be recorded in the ECM. This is not the case. We have completely different problem with this engine. However, doesn't matter what is exact final decision. The engine needs either complete rebuild or a replacement. And as you can imagine, this car is maybe looking good as a stands, but it's worn, it has damaged parts, the paint is gone. It's not a showroom condition 4Runner, which will be worth saving. This is just average shape vehicle. It may look good, but the value is not really big. I'm not sure what will happen with this car, if they will sell it for $1,000, $2,000 to the friend or something. For me, I'm not interested. It will have to be a cream puff for me to consider another project when I never can find the time to even take this head off for a blown head gasket. So I'm not interested. I already told her what they will do with it. I'm not sure. This is the situation. If you are buying used vehicles, please be very careful. The fact it is legendary 2UZ-FE 4.7 liter doesn't mean that that engine is good. Unfortunately, this one, exception to the rule, this one, it's bad. This baby is blowing. It's Halloween and it's really nice and warm outside. I wanted to hop on the bike and go for a little ride because it's already 3:40 and I better go dress up and entertain children on our street with my wife, giving a candy. Tons of candy, because we live in the popular place where the hunt is big. People drive from the surrounding areas to visit our streets. So I better go, but I'm like, well, before I will release this, I wanted to share this with you. This is very important knowledge for all of us. You gotta know that even these may have a problem at only 190,000 miles. So I made a decision, no bike. I will rather film something interesting for you from my shop. That will be end of this. If you like this video, if you think it's helpful, please give it a thumb up and stay tuned. I will have way more for you in the future. With that, I wish you happy Halloween, October 31st. Enjoy yourself, dress up, have fun, live your life. Thank you for watching and have a great day, my friend.